Welcome to my first vegetable garden. Today I'm going to show you how to seed start German chamomile. There's two kinds of chamomile. There's Roman chamomile and German chamomile. Roman chamomile tends to be shorter and stockier. I like to grow the German chamomile. It gets to about 2 feet tall. The plant has flowers that smell like sweet apples. I actually think they smell like bubble gum, and people make teas out of the flowers. And you can even use the stems. The greenery of the plant is fern-like, so it's a really attractive plant. It also attracts a lot of tiny little bees and, good insects for your garden. This is the German chamomile that I started on January 14th, and today is the 26th. The seed packet says that chamomile takes 14 to 21 days to germinate, and there are some seeds starting to come up. That one's a little bit younger. This one just broke through the surface. When you start seeds indoors, because you're giving them a lot of light and because it's usually warm, they tend to germinate quicker than what it might say on a seed packet. So if you're at around the 75-degree Fahrenheit range, your seeds may germinate quicker, but these can take up to 21 days. Now, the interesting thing about German chamomile is that the seeds, I find, prefer a little bit of light to germinate, and I sort of ran an experiment right in here. You can see where the toothpicks are. The seeds that went into here actually got mixed into about 1/4 of an inch, and they're not up yet. That doesn't mean they won't come up in another 10 days. These seeds were lightly scratched into the surface, and they did pretty well, and that's what I'm going to recommend, and I'll show you how to do that in a second when you're planting the chamomile seeds. Just on the side note, one thing that I found was that chamomile, although I treat it as an annual, it's very, very winter hardy, and it can freeze. It'll start coming up when it's cold. So you want to start these about 6 or 8 weeks before the last frost. You don't want to start them too early because they'll get really big. And you want to get them into the ground before they flower. When, these will probably get to about this tall, but you just get them into the ground and you'll have masses of white flowers just like that. Also, this is the first year that I'm planting this chamomile in about 6 years, but I still get it in my garden. And why I think that's so is because the seeds that get turned over and dug into my garden, they're too deep to germinate, and somehow I think the seeds can really last for a long, long time. And then when I redig and turn the garden, some of those seeds come to the surface. So I always have German chamomile scattered throughout my garden in the area that I planted it. So to get your seed cells ready, and I'll add links, but I always say double or a thumb pack and pre-moisten your starting mix. You want the starting mix to be somewhat moist so that it draws water up nicely through there, and you want to pack in the cells and then put some more starting mix on there so that you have a nice solid starting base. For the chamomile, because I think the seeds do like light, you want to press in the top of your starting mix pretty firmly. You don't want the seeds to fall down too deep. So you're going to start with a really solid planting base. The seed packet will tell you to put in 2 or 3 seeds. I'm going to tell you they are super, super fine. I'm going to say put in a pinch, and that's probably going to be, I don't know, at least 10 seeds. And just drop them right on top, let them scatter around. They're very hardy. You're going to be able to divide these and divide them again and just drop plants into your garden where you want them to go. Let me put these seeds away. Now that they're on the surface, you just want to scratch it. You're not even going that deep. Just scratch them in. They can get a little bit of the starting mix on top of them. Your grow lights will definitely penetrate it, but you're just scratching the seeds in and then press them back down again. And that's all you need to get your chamomile growing. This is a seed dome. I don't use the seed domes. I don't like the humidity that forms on top of my seeds. I think it breeds disease, so I use it as another tray. And what you're going to do now is you're going to bottom water. I always say don't, especially the chamomile with small seeds, don't water the top. You're going to just splash the topsoil and the seeds all around. Water, fill the bottom of the tray to about this high on the cell, and whatever the cell doesn't absorb from the bottom up to the top in about 20 or 30 minutes, just go ahead and pour out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my blog at www.therustedgarden.blogspot.com and also check out my other YouTube videos. Thanks.